Shalom, HALALYAM, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and taught us His truth through the Spirit. Shalom to the hopeful elect and the speckled birds scattered abroad that look like the other nations that are coming back to their true heritage and are truly Yasharallah Shalom. I just want to make a quick video on something that I was watching just now. This channel, he goes by Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, and he was doing a video on this woman that CNN interviewed, the one that was facing eviction, and they went to her and she had to go fund me, and then she ended up getting a bunch of donations and she raised over 200,000 to deal with it. And then he's, as you can see, the title says due to female privilege. And getting going through the video, we realized it's just this dude is because I'm not even trying to focus on him, but channels like him, right? Guys like him is you focus too much on women. At some point, it just gets tired. It's funny to see different things that these women are talking about, and you understand how completely asinine these women's logic is, and a lot of things, how they are, they gun for feminism, and anything a man can do, I can do, and do it 10 times better, and we don't need men, and a woman brings life, it's all about the woman, we run the world, blah 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 blah, which is true in this society to a certain extent. But just speaking on the men, right? Especially when it comes to dudes like this. Ultimately, for this situation, we don't know the whole story. We just know what we can see. Ultimately, he made a lot of assumptions and things like that. And I'm not, trying to defend her. I'm just saying, the scriptures say, hear the small as well as the great, and understand before you speak, So it's not a question about, see, dude's first mistake is seeing women as equals. Okay, we're not equal, as in they're not held to the same standard that men are. Men do certain things, women do certain things. It's about playing your role. Okay, and when it comes to order, according to YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI, which is all that matters, men are the head, and then women, and then children. And then the head of men is YAHAWASHI, which is who the world calls Christ. And the head of YAHAWASHI is Yahweh, who the world calls God. Okay, so there's an order to things. So we're not equal. Okay? So you cannot hold women to the same standard. And something like female privilege, that does not exist. If anything, he should focus on so-called white privilege, because that is a real thing. When you look at the two things, one being so-called white privilege, I say so-called white privilege because they're not white, they're red, and their true identity is Esau, Edom. They are the nation of the Edomites. Okay? Edomite privilege. Wherever you go, people will just bow down to Esau. They're down with his ideology, with his YOLO spirit, with his paganism, his holidays, all that. Esau runs the world. Okay? Out of their own mouths, they have said this. They admitted it. And we all know it. We can see it. Systemically, they oppress us. They've been oppressing us. They can kill us and get away with it. They can do all these things. I don't really need to go into the detail. Women, on the other hand, they're not doing anything to you. Like, let's be real. There are bitches out here, but how often are you going to deal with bitches? Brothers might deal with some demons that come up to them, giving them trouble, but ain't no women oppressing us. So it's not worth, you need to focus on something else. Because at some point you just sound bitter, and the assumptions that you make just based on the bitch makes you come off as stupid, even if you try to speak in a intelligent, calm, logical tone, and I'm really going into this because I want, honestly, at the root of it, I want to encourage brothers to look past women. Okay, whether you have a woman or not, just okay, you want to speak on something every now and then, that's cool. We're supposed to bring out the prophecies, the judgment. That's really the only thing that brothers would, Akim would focus on when they would bring out stories like these, because we know that part of the judgment in these last days is these women, getting a hard dose of reality, getting that rude awakening, and these hoes realizing that they won't be able to do it without a man. See, that's what you should focus on. The fact that she thinks she's independent, the fact that she has 3 kids when we thought the story was real, at least, and there's no man in the house, and she was working at a casino with her cleavage all out and doing things that she shouldn't be doing. That's what we focus on when it comes to these women. We focus on the judgment, and we focus on what got them there in the first place, in a real and spiritual sense. What he did, his approach was talking about her lack of financial literacy, female privilege, and women do this, and then they have a safety net to fall back on. Well, why do they have a safety net to fall back on? Why do women feel like they can do whatever they want today? Because of men, ultimately because of Esau, but men, because we enable them. Naturally, we have a soft spot for women, and we're gonna just do things for them. We're gonna be softer towards them, and that's just how it is. That's just the natural order of things. Okay, that shows you we're not equal. Women are meant to be taken care of. So you can't hold it to the same standard as you would a man that's going out there and working and doing his thing on his own and has his own place. She shouldn't have been given the freedom to go smash a dude and then break up with him and be left with three kids. Ultimately, these women are most of these women are wicked. They're doing things that they shouldn't have been doing, and then the cycle continues with the woman and then her children and so on and so forth. But it's something like that. Where he was coming from was a worldly sense, and still looking at the thing that he's doing that I was getting. And when you look at the comments, it's the same thing. They'll always have someone to clean up their mistakes. They're so used to people saving them from themselves. But this is creating animosity towards women, and ultimately it's prophecy, because women are going to have it the worst when all hell breaks loose, and that's judgment on their wicked asses regardless. But for the brothers, the Akim, we don't develop an animosity towards the women because of the things that they're doing, because the scriptures say even harlots and I forgot what it's called. The word escapes me, but one thing that YAHAWASHI said is that even harlots will enter the kingdom before certain people. A lot of people, really, because they will actually believe. Even harlots will enter the kingdom before a lot of people. So it's not necessarily just the women. It's because Because why would you expect, especially the woman being the weaker vessel, the one that needs to be taken care of, that needs to be taught, why do you expect her to have the same strength that you do? Why do you expect her to be on the same level spiritually as you and to have that faith that you do? To not give in to the easy ass beast system of Esau that creates a safety net for her, that encourages her to have kids and then get rid of the dude so she can collect those child support payments. Okay? To just get on OnlyFans and sell pictures of her body, sell pictures and videos, to be just a prostitute hopping from rod to rod, getting dinner and then dashing out on the dude. Why wouldn't you expect her to do that ultimately? Because they don't have no knowledge. They weren't taught these things by their simp ass fathers or bald headed ass, coon ass, old Negro men. You know? You can't expect that. So keeping on this mindset that dudes like him and the people in this comment section have, it's just fueling this animosity, this hatred. You know, you're really going to become a sexist, a misogynist or whatever. You know, you're really going to be one of those dudes that go out there in during the time of tribulation and just be like, F these bitches, I'm just going to take one and snatch her up and I'm going to do my thing because I don't respect these women anyway, and blah, blah, blah. The Lord's going to put the spirit on a lot of dudes to do some shit like that because this is how they were in the world anyway. So where is it gonna lead? You know? And that's the completely wrong mindset to have. Okay? Because when it comes to these women, we focus on the judgment and we focus on the reason why they're like this in the first place. And ultimately the blame goes back to men, more specifically Esau. Because he put these systems in place. Racism, okay, is something that he should be focused on. Okay? Not women all the time. This is 1 Ezra chapter 4 verse 14. O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them, or hath the lordship over them? Are they not women? So who has power over men? Who is the one that enables women to do what they do? Who gives women the safety net that they have? Who kisses these bitches' asses and boosts their egos? Men. It goes back to the men. If men stop buying OnlyFans, if men stop freaking paying these bitches and taking them out on dates and shit and simping, these women wouldn't have half. Man, this shit would change in like less than a month. Shit would change in less than a month. Jumping down to verse 18. Yea, and if men have gathered together gold and silver or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman which is comely in favor and beauty? And letting all those things go, do they not gape and even with open mouth fix their eyes fast on her? And have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold or any goodly thing whatsoever? Why do you think there are people that will literally just, there's something called pay pigs or some shit like that, where dudes literally get off on just being financial slaves, quote unquote. They'll just cash out women money and get talked down on, and she'll be like, where's my money today? You know, you little cuck or whatever. And he'll just be like, oh, here you go, queen. Here's your daily 100 or whatever. Why do, like, bro, dudes like that exist. Like, that shit is real. The scriptures know this. Okay? That's the only reason we can see these things in the first place. That's why brothers say, hey, the scriptures are undefeated. Because anything, it goes back to the scriptures. This has been a thing since the beginning. Men have always, simped for women. Alright? So these dudes thinking that they're doing something, like you found something out and you got your little channel and you're doing your thing, like, bro, the scriptures been on that. Like, we been knew about this. Okay? And you're not coming from a spiritual perspective, because we actually know how to deal with it. We're not over here just bitter and destroying ourselves over these women, because these women, at the end of the day, until they get judged, they're gonna be good. Like, they're gonna be making their money. They're gonna jump to the next dude and take advantage of him. Probably took advantage of you at some point, your little bitter ass just sitting there. Like, stop wasting time on these women. Okay? And when you surround yourself with men of the Lord. This is something that only the Akim are gonna get, man. Like, for real. Surround yourself with men of the Lord. You have your elders, real elders, not them bald-headed ass Negroes that were failing us when we were younger. No, real elders, the prophets, the Akim, that are really there for you and understand these things, because the scriptures Ben told us about it and it helped us avoid that. And if the elders or other brothers had experiences, and you just learn from that and you don't have to go through it. I haven't gone through not one. I ain't never came up off no money for no woman. I have never been played. None of that shit has ever happened to me. The YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI. Why? Because I had the elders. I had the brothers there for me. The scriptures there for me. The Lord kept me from these situations. Was I kind of, into the MGTOW stuff to some extent? Well, it was more for entertainment. But as much as I see, you sit back, again, the YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI, for the knowledge of his word, that you realize why it is, so you don't even get caught up on that. You're calm, you're stoic, you're austere throughout it all. Verse 20. A man leaveth his own father that brought him up, and his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father nor mother nor country. So you're willing to just up and leave for a woman that you love. And that's really how it is. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea and upon rivers, and looketh upon a lion, and goeth in the darkness, and when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women, and become servants for their sakes. And that's not just talking about the cucks. That's talking about dudes. Well, maybe not even him specifically, but anyone that he could be influencing with this bitterness and this hard pressing and focus on just women. Kevin Samuels. Like, this shit's it's gonna be bad for women out here. Ultimately, yeah, we know women are gonna get judged, but we know, like I said, this is for the Akim, man. Do not let these women be a stumbling block to your spirit, to your walk with YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI. And I'm gonna get a verse. After I'm done with the rest of these. Okay, so become servants for their sakes. So run out of their wits. Like I said, it could also apply to these dudes that are just too caught up on them, not just the pay pigs or whatever. Okay, because once you focus on that, you become like them. The channel You Wouldn't Like Me When I Get Gutta, Savvy Guy, or Oreo Man or whatever, Kent. These dudes that are like making videos about how sad they are, how bitter they are, and you know, they can't get women, and they base their whole value of life based around how many girls they can get, or if they can get women at all. That's where you're going to end up. You know? Verse 27, many also have perished, have erred and sinned for women. Okay? Ultimately, it goes back to the men enabling them. Because if you weren't caught up on these women, you would be focused on your spirit, you'd be focused on your head, which is YAHAWASHI. Because really what that is, you turned your head into you turned your head from YAHAWASHI into the woman. You put the woman as your head instead of YAHAWASHI. That's what these dudes are doing. It's just like music that you listen to. If you listen to these, you know, effed up rap songs and depressing emo music, and the music you listen to will influence you. It's going to influence your spirit. It's going to give you certain, it's going to give you certain spirits. It's going to make you feel certain ways. It's going to change you somehow. All right. So continuously, like every day, uploading something about these women. Patreon, nothing but women. But like I said, I'm not trying to focus on him specifically. I'm just saying these dudes, MGTOW, all that. These dudes are bitter. And they're weird. Okay, they're weird. In general. Okay? It's gonna do something to your spirit. Like, you need to focus on something else. Just stick to what it is and not just be bitter against women. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 verse 25. Ecclesiasticus aka Sirach. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Because what do you get when you give women just liberty to do whatever they want? They take the freedom and they just don't know what to do with it. You know? I should say, you know, a wise... Well... not necessarily a wise man once said, because it's just the word of the Lord. The Lord is just wisdom. He is just wisdom, you know. And it all goes back to the scriptures. The scriptures, it was already here for us to know this. So we didn't even need to experience anything, you know. It was all there for us, you know. Through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, and he put the spirit onto his servants, the prophets, you know, the elders on down, the apostles and elders on down, you know. So it's saying, you know, don't give these women, these women shouldn't have all the freedom that they have to do OnlyFans and stuff like that, you know, because they don't know what to do with it. They're gonna go crazy, you know, they're gonna end up getting into trouble. You know, women, they really need to be taken care of. They need to be watched over. And ultimately, it doesn't matter how ideal you want the world to be. It is what it is. Like, men, there's predators out there. Ultimately, what men do is not to control women, but to protect them. And not only that, but it goes into respecting yourself, how you dress and how you carry yourself. The scriptures say to be discreet, you know, which is, you know, inconspicuous or unnoticeable. That's how you should be. You shouldn't be, you know, garnering all the attention of everybody all the time. You know, you shouldn't want just anyone's attention. You should only want your husband's attention, which should be righteous man of the Lord. That's the only attention that matters to you. That should be the only attention that matters to you. and it goes into the order, the hierarchy, or I know some brothers call it the Godhead, because it from your man, then it's YAHAWASHI, then it's Yahawah. And if it's a man of the Lord, then he's operating in that righteous spirit, because he's following the authority of YAHAWASHI, and YAHAWASHI follows the authority of Yahawah, and it was made to be an orderly system, to make it easier on us ultimately. So yeah, Ecclesiasticus 26 and 22. An harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. Okay, now this is the verse I was going to get to. Verse 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. Okay, that's why brothers will have dealt with all the bullshit in the world while they were in the world, but after they repented, they saw the nature of these women, they didn't even bother. And then the Lord came and sent a righteous woman their way, and then they build each other up in the spirit. She acts as your balance. Women are more emotional, men are more logical. You listen to your woman. She being a righteous woman that you can actually deal with. You guys build each other up. She's a pillar of rest for you. That's how it's supposed to be. But if you're dealing with nothing but bitches like the ones that they go in on all the time, and that's all that you're dealing with, like at some point, even in the world, they'll tell you, if you keep on dealing with the same thing, at some point you got to examine yourself. Maybe you're the problem, So yeah, you have to always be examining yourself. Examine and exhort the brethren around you. Hold yourself accountable. Man, always talking about women need to hold themselves accountable. Okay, well, they don't. But then, as you hold yourself accountable, the women that the Lord has you cross paths with will be righteous women that do hold themselves accountable. Don't bother with these wicked women. Just speak on the judgment, because that is what we should be doing, what we have to do, and then just move on. Don't be making videos on women all the time. That's it just gets annoying. It's just annoying, but this is verse 23. A dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. Reverence. That goes into the word worship. Yup, guess what? We worship YAHAWASHI. But people will get caught up on the word worship, and they'll be like, what? She idolizes her husband? Or you idolize YAHAWASHI? What? Didn't Sarah call Abraham her Lord? Didn't I don't know if wasn't it Bathsheba that bowed down? Or no, Abishag. There was Abishag and there was Bathsheba. I believe Abishag was the woman that was already in the room with King David, and then Bathsheba came in. She saw them there together. She didn't trip out or nothing. She performed obeisance, which is she bowed down. She reverenced her husband. You bow down to the king, just like how we bow down to the king, YAHAWASHI. You worship him. You give respect. You revere him. That's what the hierarchy is. You reverence your head. That's what it is. So YAHAWASHI can't be an idol. And the man can't be an idol. Okay? It's just the natural order that Yahweh set up. So there you go right there. That's why we say we worship YAHAWASHI as well. Women do the same thing for their head. Because that's how it's supposed to... Yeah, I don't want to keep rambling, but that's what it is. Verse 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. Okay? And I was just thinking too, like, continuously, like, just talking about women is like, you don't want to be around brothers like that. Like, brother, like, that's all that you're doing. Those are the only videos that you're putting out. Like, you're not, that's not edification. Like I said, it just makes you come off as bitter. Your spirit's gonna just change. You're just focusing on women all the time. Like, that's not good. That's not righteous. That's not coming from a spiritual perspective. Okay, you're not gonna want to be around a brother like that. You know, there's way more important things to focus on, man. And the deeper reason behind it is the men. Esau, Edom specifically, because he put these systems in place. Okay? This is a new thing. The Lord said, okay, woman. Gotta use Google because sometimes KJV search thing won't really work very well. Jeremiah 31:22. Oh, Salakia. It was right there. So Jeremiah 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. So this is a new thing. Alright? It wasn't like this before. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is, man. And I'm going to read this last couple of verses. 1 Corinthians 11:8. For the man is not of the woman. You know, just if people want to, because people will say that the Bible is sexist and, you know, things like that. Just because I say that men and women are not equal, then you're going to take that the wrong way and get offended. You know, but you need to humble yourself and realize that, no, you do need a man. Okay? Sometimes men need women too. You know? Well, let's continue. Alright, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord. Okay? So men are not made to serve women. Okay? Women are not men's head. You have to humble yourself. Okay? You realize you are the weaker vessel. Okay? But a righteous man of the Lord is not going to just take, you know, he's not going to do that, you know, toxic masculinity. He's not going to abuse you. He's not going to take advantage of you. He's going to, you know, teach you. He's going to respect you. He's going to lead you in a righteous way according to YAHAWASHI's teachings and his head. Okay? Like it says in Ephesians, man. love your wife as you would love yourself. Roughly paraphrasing. Probably very rough, but I'm not sure. But you get the idea. You know? There's nothing, it's not something to be offended by. It's not something that you should be alarmed by. Because when you go into the world, honestly, are men respecting you? Do you have a husband? That's not a simp that you actually respect. Okay? How is the world working out for these women? Because it's getting worse for these women out here. Men are turning from simps because really they're lying to you. Men are going from simps to MGTOW. And you know where that's going to lead. It's going to lead to an unavoidable catastrophe for you women. Okay? So in the world, how is this working out for you? How is the independent woman spirit and the, oh, I'm a queen, I'm a goddess, you better worship, like that damn Doja Cat song, worship my hips and waist and shit. Like your body's something to be worshipped. Doesn't talk about no knowledge, no nothing, just worship my body. Like you really got nothing else to offer. How is that working out for you? Are you happy? You want to do OnlyFans for the rest of your life? You want to just do this and that? You're not really happy. You don't really respect the man that you're with. And these simps are not happy either because they're lying to you. They're lying to themselves. They're just putting up with you because they want some box. Because they're simple-minded and they're weak to the flesh. And then the spirit's going to get put on them to turn around and usurp your ass. And it's going to be a bad day for you hoes. Whatever the Lord has established, that is order. That's where it's at. That's the only thing that will allow us to live and truly live, not just survive and go by day to day living in pleasure. Scriptures say, she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. 1 Timothy. So get the hell up out of here, man. Nothing, and it always comes to that, man. Nothing that you people do in the world is actually working out for you. You guys are not happy. You've tried everything except YAHAWASHI. But you have the nerve to speak to the men of the Lord. Abaratazah, we are of the hopeful elect and the 144,000. You know, the ones out here laboring to try to wake your ass up. Like, we don't know what we're talking about. Ultimately, you're speaking against Yahweh. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, nothing he has ordained works. You know? You're just completely out of order. You love chaos. And you want this kingdom to go on. Hey, man, all that's over with. All that's over with. And we can see this kingdom crumbling day by day. Okay. Verse 12. For as the woman is of the man, even so is the man also by the woman. But all things of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. So that's pretty much all I wanted to bring out. I pray that the lesson was edifying. I pray that you brothers are exhorted and rebuked if this applies to you. You know? Stop focusing on these women ultimately. Just bring the judgment out according to the word of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI and move on. Because there's way more important things. There's way more important things that we should be focusing on. That we need to be focusing on. There are other brothers and sisters that need to be taught the scriptures rather than seeing you sounding bitter against these damn bitches all the time. And I'm also going to take any type of rebuke I can get as well. You know, for just because it's entertaining doesn't mean that's good. You know, everything, like, if you want to check it out, maybe you can get some edification out of it, but do not, you know, be gluttonous with it, I guess. Because watching too much of that, well, the water YAHAWASHI, it did something to my spirit and made me want to do this video. So that was a good thing. But I'm not going to be watching too much more shit like that, because it's a rabbit hole that you get into, and these dudes are on another level of just destroyed. Letting these women get to them like that, it's ridiculous. So yeah, stop simping, but also stop, being bitter. Keep repenting, keep praying and fasting. I want to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom to the hopeful elect, and blessings, honor, glory, and power unto Yahawah, YAHAWASHI. Shalom.